Okay, we're using a little more clay for this one. This is the satellite dish bowl. And the 2 3/4 pounds of clay that I've been using for the other exercises doesn't make a big enough bowl to really illustrate the things I'm trying to show you. This is about 4 3/4 pounds. There's no particular reason for that amount. It's the size chunk of clay I grabbed. The procedure I'm going to show you here will work as to find up to about 8 pounds of clay. You get over that and you want to modify it slightly. And at this point you're getting into where the exercises are more fun. This one maybe is most fun. I'd actually say that the swollen form with the collared top is more fun, but this one is so easy to do and makes such a nice bowl. That it's a strong candidate for the most fun. Now, in learning to master throwing a cylinder, you have to learn how to overcome the tendency of the clay to want to spread as you open it and bring it up. And the nice thing about a bowl is you don't have to do that. When you open the clay and start bringing it up, you can let it expand as it wants to. One thing about making a bowl is that when you're opening it up, your fingers have to realize from the start that you're making a bowl. You're not making something with a flat bottom. So you open it up with that in mind. Let your fingers ride up a little bit as they come out. And you let the clay expand the way it wants to. Now, what I'm showing you here is not exactly the way I throw a bowl like this anymore. What I'm showing you is how I taught myself to throw this bowl. And as you get better at understanding it, you can start winging it a little bit. All the rules I will tell you are rules that can be bent or broken as you get to understand them better. But it's good to observe the rules when you're trying to learn. Reach the point where you've expanded it fully, your lip is going to be real thin. going with this is you're trying to throw along basically about the line that I've got here. I want to point out something here, shape-wise. What we've got here is a variation on the 3 Mile Island cooling tower. I said before that any pot you make, if you're doing it right, is going to start out with the 3 Mile Island cooling tower shape or some variation on that. And that's what we have here. The variations arise as you have variations in the ratio of foot to lip. Now the next thing you do, I'm going to do this just the first pass before I go unload my memory stick. So you wet your lip down and bring it out however far you think you can get away with. And then, working on segments at a time, starting at the top and working your way down, you're trying to reestablish that same concave line from the lip to the foot. These metal ribs are excellent for this. It's not the only way to do it. You're going to do this until on the inside it looks like you've accomplished your objective. And I'll try and dress up the line a little bit so it looks better. You can see I don't have a nice continuous concave line all the way to the base, and that's where you have to bring in this additional element where you're going to push down on the wall inside to make the clay down here swell out underneath the wall, the new concave line that you've made. And if you lean over and look at it while you're expanding it, it'll tell you if you're pushing right or not. And there's not too much explanation that's required because I'm going to keep doing the same thing over and over again until I... Basically what you're trying to do with this is get your lip to the diameter you want for a finished diameter. And once you do that, you can abandon the concave shape. This expanding from the top down is not done like a pull, it's done section by section. I really do like these metal ribs for doing this, but it's not the only way to do it. You can do it with your fingers, you can do it with a sponge. But I've been using these ribs for a number of years, and they're just such a good tool for the job. Here I'm to the point where again I want to push down on the base of the wall, on the right at the base, and force that to expand out underneath the wall that I've built. And looking at the outside of the pot as you do that is the best way to gauge if you're pushing right. I'm going to, for the sake of demonstration, I'd be a lot more casual with this ordinarily. And like I say, this isn't the way I do this anymore. I do a lot, but this is a good way to learn to do it. And I'm trying not to waste any time really, because I don't want to run out of space on my memory stick. The reason that I advise you to try to learn to do this without a dramatically thickened lip is because it really complicates expanding the lip if you have a nice heavy lip. And if you want any kind of decent lip on your bowl, it has to be really heavy when you start expanding it, because it just gets thinner and thinner. And you have to support the wall better underneath the lip when you're expanding it if you have a heavy lip. That didn't go perfectly. I've lost the precise concave shape, so I'll try and shape that up a little bit. You don't really have to, but I want to make it clear this is the ideal that you're striving for. Perfect, again, not being something that exists in the real world. You would be surprised how far you can go with this. You don't need to make the bowl this shallow, but you can make it more shallow. I know one time in a demo in a class we decided to see, well, how far can you push it? And the answer is real far. But once you get to the lip, to what you want for a finished diameter, that's when you can abandon the concave shape and start going convex. That's where we're at with this bowl. Now, working with a fixed camera, I'm not going to complicate this further by trying to take an additional shot from a different vantage point to show you what a beautiful shape this bowl is on the inside. What I will do instead is cut it in half so that you can see what it looks like. Well, obviously this is going to collapse as I cut it, but I'll kind of pick it back up again. And what you have here is a nice wall thickness with enough clay to trim a foot.